let's do that. I think it's gonna come out quite easily because, well, it's not root bound. Okay, oh, so that was one of the problems. One of the little trees in the fusion didn't make it, and now, of course, there's only roots at one side and it's not holding the rock, so that's why I need to do something about that. But so far so good. Alright, it's out of the pot, and now I need to clean this up to see what's going on. Okay, so we have a clear view on the rock, but that's the back, and you see that the roots should go down here, and that's gonna be my my problem, because they're not touching the bottom part of the rock. But I'll find a solution, no worries. So this is the front, and now I'm going to remove all the soil. I already filled the whole tray with soil, and what I see at this moment is not bad, because the thickest parts are really starting to hug the rock, so that's very good. And smaller roots can always be managed a little bit easier. But this one, you see, it's kind of loose, so I really need to put an extra tree here to hold it from the other side. But then I will have to find something to guide the roots down the rock. Same here. It hugs the rock when I push it against, but it's not holding by itself. So that's also a concern, but I'll find a way. No problem. So I'm just continuing the cleaning. So now we're looking at the back, and some of the raffia that I used, of course, is starting to get very weak and falls apart. So I think it's time to get rid of it completely and see how I can rearrange, well, not really rearrange, but re-secure, I would say, everything. And I think I'm going to try my a new technique that I used on several fusion projects, and these are bands of tires from bicycles, and they seem to do quite well. And well, they're extremely inexpensive, because if you go to the local bicycle shop and you ask for a couple of old tires, they'll give you some, because no one can use a defectuous tire, of course. So I'm going to remove all the raffia. You see, it's still not holding here, and I'll have to find a solution to make this a little bit more yeah, how should I say, eternal, so that it stays where it's supposed to stay without me every time trying to fix it with raffia, because going to get completely crazy from this project, but I'll manage. So this is how the front looks now. I think it's an interesting project, but it's rather messy at the moment, so I'm going to clean this up completely, remove moss and little plants and weeds and everything. Just going to leave the trees tied together here at the top, and then take care of the position in the pot, and the roots, and then we'll have a go with the top parts. So the whole thing has been dismantled now, and I'm just here with the rock and the trees in a bucket next to me. And so what I need to do is, well, it was not complicated to find where these trees came from. So I just have to reposition them somewhere where I think that they look good. And well, since I'm starting from scratch, I probably can do whatever I want. And I'm just going to try to give them a nice spot on this rock. And yeah, nothing says that I have to put them where they were, but one thing that I have to keep in mind is that, of course, these thick roots will not be easy to bend, so it's probably best to put them back where I took them from. So this one, I think it was something here, and the whole idea of this tree being here is to give some support with this root, so that that root becomes an aerial root. But I'll try to find a good spot for all these trees. Maybe a little higher would be even better. So yeah, I'm going to try that. Maybe put it at both sides of the rock, which I think should be possible. And if one splits a little, that's not a big deal. So that's possible, because it's a rather thin part of the rock here. So that might just be really good. But then I have to open this up. So it's always just a question of positioning it until the tree grabs the rock at the best possible position. So this is not good. I have a gap. I don't like that. Maybe I'll just turn it, and then I'll try to find the best angle for all these things. So this is ridiculous, so I'm not gonna do that. Something like this might be an option. Yeah, or maybe a little higher. So you see, there's a lot of trying, and like they say, try and error, and in this case it's gonna be a whole lot of error before you try something right. So let me handle this, and I'll come back in a few hours. So this is how it ends today, and well, I'm quite happy, I must say. I think that the trees are quite well over the rock. They're at both sides. This is one single tree, this is also one single tree. These are 3 trees. They will fuse, of course, and at the base. And then when that is done, I can always rewire and all these things, but that's not the main concern at this moment. The little negative point of today is that I don't think it is a wise idea to put these trees in a bonsai pot, because I think that the roots that I have here are not mature enough. It's too little roots to keep these things alive. So I think that I will have to bury everything up to here. So back in the big ugly flower pot it goes, and then we will see in a year what's going on. And then maybe next year it will be time to put that in a bonsai pot up to here, and that will look very cool, of course. But you cannot do that if you have not enough roots to support the trees. So in the back it looks like this. So everything is nicely entangled in these ropes. I can just do some minor adjustments here and try to guide everything down and down and down as nicely as I can when I put that in that pot, but that's not a difficult thing. And well, honestly, this is how I'm going to conclude this video, because I'm just going to put all that stuff back in the big pot, bury it up to here, that every root is happily growing downwards, and next year out of the pot it will come, and we will see how it does. If I see that this thing grows well, I can always work on the top part this year, so that's not a problem. So well, yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.